Hello, welcome back to another episode of Sparky's Tech Corner. Now, today we got another repair. This is yet again another system from my friend Zen of Starwind. We repaired his Nintendo top loader once before, and since after that, he's became a part of the channel doing the Sparky and Starwind playthroughs, if you don't know who I'm talking about. But we got another repair. And let me get myself minimized here. And let's go ahead and bring up the overhead camera. We have a DOL-001 Game Cube. And this one is a little strange. We have a little damage right here. Apparently, whenever they had the controller port plugged in a long time ago, I guess one of the little nephews or nieces, whichever one, was jacking around with the system, kicked it, and where the controller port plugs in, where the controller plugged in. Afterwards, controller one wouldn't pick up anymore. It was doing all sorts of weird stuff and wouldn't play, and it's basically been inop for a while, and you can tell, like I said, right here on the bottom of the case, you can tell it's damaged, and right here there's a crack on it. And if we listen, we got something broken inside. So, for this, we're going to need a flathead screwdriver to get the Game Boy play off of it, and we're going to need a large style Nintendo screwdriver. So, this is going to be pretty simple to get to apart. I don't see the need to fast forward through this one. But we'll just take a screwdriver and we'll get the Game Boy play off of this. And once the screws are off of it, go ahead and just pop it off. Afterwards, we'll take our Nintendo screwdriver and we'll get these security screws off of well, that was smart. We'll get the security screws out of the system. That way we can open it up and take a look inside. See what we got damaged, which I have a fairly good idea what it is. And we got one more cell in here. There we go. Once we get those off, basically, all thing we gotta do is just lift that. Yeah, I can only see what's wrong. Yeah, boy. Let me go ahead and get a zoom up of this. If you look, the the circuit board's broke. That is the reset switch right here. So let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit more. Bring this in just a little bit closer. Okay, basically just get this off or just undo these little tabs, bend that over, and just unhook it. So, gonna zoom up of this. Just to take an example of how damaged this is. I could technically repair this. However, I've already got parts ordered to replace the circuit board, the back plate, and this broken bottom shell. But if you don't want to do that, you could easily, where the circuit board's broke at, you can run jumper wires from the traces over here. You could put this back in. You can epoxy it down and run jumper wires from the one wire, because on this switch, if you look on the back side of it, we got 4 ground planes and then 1 wire. It's just a single, it's just a 2-system switch, and it goes to ground. And basically this grounds out the CPU, I believe, if I remember right, to force the CPU to restart. That's basically what this does. And basically all I'm planning to do is just run a jumper wire from here to where it goes into the board over here. However, we're not going to do that. I will, however, take the rest of the system port, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be transplanting the bottom base to another good base that's not brick. We're basically doing a repair for them. And while we got this way apart, we're going to go ahead and clean it. So, this is why I'm going to go ahead and fast forward the video and get the internals tore apart from the base. Okay, that pretty much concludes the disassembly of this Nintendo Game Cube. I gotta say, it's a very, very complex design for just what it is. I did notice whenever I took this apart, on the motherboard, got this thermal padding compound. I didn't know. I'm gonna look and see if I can use something else for this thermal pad, or if I need to leave this stuff alone, or what I can do for it. Something to help out with thermal conductivity, at least. But I'm gonna go ahead and clean on this. I'm gonna do it off camera. I'll be back as soon as the parts come in. So for you, it'll be a split second. For me, it's probably gonna be a couple weeks.
4 to 6 weeks later.
In a couple weeks, it has been. It's actually been a month since I stopped recording on that video. And I'll go into a little bit of a reason why. So, let me minimize myself here. And let me tell you a very short story. I needed to get a new circuit board for the controller plugins. I wanted to get a new bottom base for the cracked housing we got. That's what this one is. And I want to get a new face shield to replace the one that had that little headline fracture in it. I went through on eBay and I found the parts for about 15 bucks for all three of these. And who I got them from was a seller called Fast Ship from West. Now, I'm not too particularly, how should I say it, impressed with what's happened. For one, whenever I received these items, this is the shipping came in. A ripped apart manila folder designed for legal documentation, or just documentation, not designed for actual packaging of components. Was not boxed up, did not have no bubble wrap in it. That's all it came in. Second, I described what I needed, and it even had part numbers. There's two different part numbers you can get for this. The one that came in the system is a DOL-FRNT-02. And that's why I ordered. What I ended up getting instead is a DOL-FRNT-10. Now, they both work in this system. They should both work in this system. It's just a redesigned circuit board. That's all it is. Should have all the same functionality. But the fact that I didn't get what I asked for, what I paid for, I paid and picked the -02. That miffed me a little bit. Second, the bottom shell I bought has a chip in it. The reason why I bought it is to replace the bottom shell on this console that has a chip in it. So it really kind of defeats the purpose of buying or getting a different shell. So with it being chipped anyways, I'm going to reuse the bottom shell. It's going to have a little bit of a chip in it. I don't see the need to replace a different shell with a different serial number on it, with one that's just as broke as the one I'm replacing. The only thing he managed to get right is the front plate. That's it. So I wouldn't recommend Fast Ship from West to get any parts for your GameCube. He sent out a batch the first time, and after 2 weeks, I asked where my parts, because they were supposed to be in the beginning of the month whenever I ordered them, which was April 27th when I ordered them. Supposed to be in May 2nd, and it was like May 16th when I got a hold of him, and it's like, hey, where's my stuff at? And it's like, well, let me reship this stuff to you, and this is what I got. And I was actually contemplating sending the stuff back, and it's like, I've already got the stuff will work. I'm not going to delay this video anymore. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and speed the video up and we're gonna go ahead and attempt to reassemble this mess. And that pretty much does the assembly for the GameCube. So, as you can tell, it's a pretty intricate system to tear apart and put back together. You definitely gotta remember your screw placements, because that bottom wire shield will go in and screws down before you gotta put that main motherboard back in. And the screws you gotta put in certain positions first before you can screw down anything else. If you don't do that, it can really mess you up, and then you really start trying to figure out where extra parts go. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video off here. I did test the unit off camera. I don't have any way yet to still pipe it through the computer. I gotta buy an HDMI a composite to HDMI converter so I can at least unhook my overhead camera. That way I can project it on screen of testing it, if it walks, all that other good stuff. Unfortunately, I just haven't gotten around to getting that set up. I did let Starwinds know to let him know that his system's working. He is excited for it. So hopefully it will last some for a while. Normally I would go through and replace capacitors, but since the Game Cube came out like early mid 2000s, I'm not too worried about the capacitors. Next time I'm ever in a system, I'm probably gonna go ahead and change them out. But anyways, with that, I hope you enjoyed the video. I tried to get as much as, tearing apart, going through it, putting it back together in one video as I possibly could. If you like it, please let me know. Hopefully I'll have a couple more projects done up and get them out there. So, like the video, please dislike it, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.